Hi, mystery writers. Welcome to the Mystery Writers Studio. I'm Zara Altair. Today, I wanted to talk about character change and story dynamic, especially as it pertains to mysteries, because oftentimes our mystery detective doesn't have a big character arc, personality change from beginning to end. So, let's take a look at what character change does, what its role is in story, and then look at how it works in mysteries. All right. Um, so there's many ways to establish character. Uh, there's interviews, worst fears, early childhood habits, good and bad. But what readers really want, I mean, this is all great background information, but what readers really want is action. So, the easiest way to reconcile your wealth of knowledge about your character and engage your readers in this story is to confront your character with obstacles and challenges, because then they have to act, and they're going to act according to those personality traits that you've given them. And your readers will understand those personality traits because of the way your character acts in the story. So think of all that character background stuff that you do in the same way you do as research. So maybe 20% of all the work that you do is actually going to show up in your story. But it's worth knowing all of that, because you don't know when you start out, you often don't know which 20% of details that you've created are actually going to show up in this story. But anyway, it gives you a wealth of information to use as your story progresses. Um, so the narrative's livelihood lies in its ability to capture the reader's attention, and one of the most effective tools to accomplish this is character change. So, um, but but in the mystery, the character change can be the detective, the criminal, or even a witness or victim. The detective might start out as a skeptic and evolve into a believer, or a criminal might transform from a heartless villain to a remorseless individual. And these changes add complexity to the characters, making them multidimensional and more intriguing. So, what is the role of character change in a mystery? In the mystery narrative, character change plays a role in creating story dynamics, enriching the plot, and enhancing suspense. All things you want in your story. So let's look at a few of the ways it does that. One of the ways that character change works is to reveal hidden traits and motives in a character. And this is especially important in a mystery genre, because character change often involves the revelation, which adds depth to the characters and twists to the plot. And as the character changes, their true nature or hidden motives may surface, which can either help solve the mystery or make it more complex. And this unveiling process keeps readers on their toes, eager to learn more about those characters and the mystery. And character change in itself can help drive the plot. As characters evolve, they make decisions and take actions that impact the story's progression. For example, a change in the detective's belief or approach may lead to new clues or shifts in the investigation, propelling the story forward. Also, character change works to build suspense and intrigue. Uh, as characters change, readers are left wondering why they've changed, and how that change will affect the story's resolution. And this anticipation keeps readers engaged and the pages turning. And also, character change leads to catharsis and resolution, and the changes characters undergo um, often lead to that resolution, which is crucial in the mystery genre. The detective's epiphany, the criminal's remorse, or victim's acceptance can provide a satisfying resolution to the narrative, making the mystery's unveiling an emotionally resonant experience for your readers. That's what it's all about. We want to keep our readers engaged in our story. So let's go back to the challenges I talked about earlier, which is going to display our detective in action. So you're a storyteller, not just a character creator. And so the challenge is to reveal that character while telling the story and showing that character in action. And the moment the character responds is the moment your reader is right there with the character. All right. Each scene has some small or large difficulty where the character must respond in thought, word, or deed. They're going to have to take some kind of action to respond to the challenge. And when the character cares, your reader cares. All right. In traditional fiction and many genres, the scene by scene challenge is the crux of getting your reader to turn the pages. And as your character develops through the challenges, your reader experiences those changes. And as your story and your main character progress, readers tune in to those changes. And by the time your story reaches a climax, your reader knows your character, sympathizes with their situation, and the final changes of the culmination of these challenges along the way. And your character becomes dynamic through their reactions to challenges you create. So I'm going to say that again because it's really important. Your character becomes dynamic through their reactions to the challenges you create. So it's all about taking action. It's not about you telling a description of they were loving or giving or short tempered or whatever. Just show them in action, all right? And your reader's going to understand, all right? So, but for mystery writers, there's one other big challenge, and that's that your character, your main character, your detective, doesn't change, right? Uh, some stories have a main character whose attributes connect them to a world. They must change, and the strengths of the character meet the challenges of outside forces and reshape or change those challenges by enforcing their character traits. Um, so, a great example is Miss Jane Marple doesn't change. She doesn't have a character change. She's pick up any book and she uses her particular character strengths to reveal or quote change the perpetrator. And so when you're thinking about creating a mystery, you can think about how your character changes the world around them, how your character changes your reader's perception of what is in that world, how your character changes the reader's perception of the other characters in the story. So you can call it change or transformation, and whether your character changes or changes the world around them, the key to movement and dynamism in your story is the obstacles. All right, great and small, those ones that keep popping up scene by scene by scene, and they build the story tension and keep readers turning pages. Character change is an indispensable element in your story, and it's the key to movement and dynamism. So think about your particular mystery. and how you're going to approach character change, because it can either be internal, the character changes from the beginning to the end of the story, or the character remains the same, like Miss Marple is our example, but the way that everything is perceived changes. In other words, that character is changing the reader's perception of the outside world. So you can do some of each in your story, but I think you want to think about what is your main way of revealing change in your story as you create your story. Okay, I hope that helps. And as always, please leave any questions or comments in the comment section. And also, just to note, next week is a big holiday in the United States. It's Thanksgiving. So we're not going to have a mystery studio meeting next week, and I'll see you at the end of the month. And if you live in the United States, have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here.